Who is Armando Alvarez?
Armando. Armando Álvarez.
Sí, ese es mi nombre.
Comedian Will Ferrell joins an impressive cast of Latino actors to poke a little comedic fun at the TV telenovela genre and more in the new film,
La casa de mi padre.
Armando, hay algo que tienes que saber.
¿Qué es lo que tengo que saber?
The biggest international motion picture of all time
Mi mujer, señorita López, tiene que amar a la tierra como yo la amo.
is coming to America.
I had a chance to chat with Ferrell for Boston Latino TV in New York City about this film, which has been a pet project of his for years. I also had the pleasure of interviewing his co-stars in the film, the esteemed Mexican actor Gael Garcia Bernal and beautiful telenovela actress Genesis Rodriguez, who plays Ferrell's love interest in the film.
Perro a la muchacha, solo te daré una oportunidad. Suelta a la mujer y te dejo vivir.
Will, this is a huge change of pace for you, this film. Where did the idea come from? Because I understand it's been percolating for a while.
Yeah. You know, I don't really know exactly where it specifically came from, but I think it was just from, you know, late night going through channel surfing and occasionally, you know, landing on these telenovelas which were so arch, and, you know, it always would make me laugh at how uber serioso everyone is and so dramatic, and I thought, oh, that's a funny world. What if I put myself right in the middle of it? And that's where it kind of came from. But I was just lazy about executing the idea, and finally, I think I'd heard that someone was writing a telenovela script in Hollywood, and I thought, oh, I better hurry up and jump on this idea, and that's what got us started.
Experience the action, the passion, the drama.
Que disfrutes de todos los placeres de la vida, aunque sea la destrucción de la familia.
It obviously at first came just from a silly idea, but it really is a blending of a bunch of different things. It's kind of an homage to these you know, Mexican spaghetti westerns that were, you know, you saw in the early 70s that were once again very dramatic, but also had huge continuity flaws, and but we're also, you know, paying homage to Sergio Leone and you know, the Clint Eastwood stuff and Quentin Tarantino, and it was just, when we started talking about the idea, we thought, oh, outside of the Spanish thing, this could be a great chance to just have a fun grab bag to just really have fun with all these different cinematic styles.
Armando. ¿Te puedo decir Armandito?
Me gusta.
Guy, when you got the script for this film, what was the first thought that came into your mind? Because this is very different than anything that you've seen or we've seen on the screen.
No, I really thought that there was some mistake, that there was something that wasn't happening in the translation, you know, because I got the message about this film, and there was, like, I read the translation into Spanish, and it was a terrible translation.
Es muy peligroso para ti. Muy peligroso para él. Es muy peligroso para tu familia.
No.
Tranquilos.
Talking with the director and talking with the producer, I kind of more or less understood what they wanted to do, and all of a sudden, I mean, the irreverence of doing something like that was exciting. Was already like there was a challenge there, and there was a theatrical, an acting game, you know, that was very appealing to play and be part of.
A lot of people are surprised about, and certainly a great risk on your part as well as a dedication to it, is the way that you were speaking Spanish throughout this film. How big a challenge was that for you?
It was huge, but it was important to me. I didn't want the joke of the film to be that I spoke Spanish poorly. I wanted it to feel as if I was a member of this all Latino cast, that I was just an actor in this ensemble, and I knew that the only way I could do that is if my accent was authentic, and yet if you're a native speaker, you can tell it's still a little off, and that's why we have jokes throughout the film where my family is like, "You speak so weird," you know, and also I use this very formal usted form of speaking, and Armando's very polite and earnest, and but I wanted it for English-speaking people to think, oh, he must speak Spanish, and for Latinos to go, oh, I can tell he doesn't, but it's pretty good.
Usted hizo esto. Que Dios me ayude. Si esto es la verdad y mi hermano está en las drogas, usted jamás tendrá el nombre de los Álvarez.
What was it like working with Will? Because this is something very different for him.
Yes.
And yet I have to imagine that he probably made the set very light and fun to deal with.
You know, he just set the tone and the mood. Him and the director as well, because they're such easygoing people. Never got angry, never got frustrated. We literally were working one day in 120-degree weather, and we were just like melting in the desert, and we were having a great time. We were just having the best time of our lives. It was an incredible experience for me. It was kind of fun to hang out with the boys and be the only girl there. It was kind of awesome. Yeah.
¡Aléate! O te doy una paliza con estas manos.
What is it about this film you think that stands out for not only our community, but might translate over to non-Latinos as well?
I think it's the same Will Ferrell humor. I just think it's placed in a different setting. And I think that's what makes it so funny for the non-Latinos. But for Latinos, since it's our culture, telenovelas, we know it so well. So we're going to catch a lot of what's going on, all these references, you know, the continuity things and just the randomness. And the seriousness, too. I mean, it's so damn serious.
Tú has traído la desgracia a nuestra familia. No. Yo vine aquí a salvar a nuestra familia. Es distinto. Estás llevando a esta familia al infierno.
What was it like for you to work with Will Ferrell?
It was really fun. It was really fun because he's a really nice guy, very intelligent, and a really good actor. Really good, and a really good companion to play around with. And I mean, me and Diego were talking about that he's we were very, very compelled and moved by the way that he sees films, and he sees himself, and he works in films. I mean, he's a very special character in that sense. I mean, he really enjoys the work, and it's very contagious.
Pues el hall en el que anda. Esto se va a poner muy feo.
We cry when we watch the soap operas at night, and we're like crying with the seriousness. Here we could laugh about it. So it's going to be really refreshing for our community.
How impressed were you with Will's command of Spanish for this film?
Oh, he's such a sneaky guy. He's a sneaky fellow, because he would ask questions all the time. He would say, why is this feminine and why is this masculine and what's this, a transitive verb? And he would just like ask these questions, and I'd be like, wow, he has a lot of interest in our language. This is incredible. And no, he just putting sentences together, and it took him like a couple of hours, and then he would just like improvise.
Somos hermanos muy cercanos.
Hombre, pues hemos compartido tantas cosas, ¿eh?
I imagine you took a great risk trying to sell this in Hollywood. I mean, it's not an easy pitch.
No. We're very proud of it. We're very proud that it's unique and that the comedy is super over the top, and at the same time, we have a lot of satire going on, and we kind of tell the we kind of make fun of the U.S.'s cliche views of Mexico and vice versa, and I'm proud that at least initially that a lot of the Latino media really likes this movie, and is I've had many people say, thanks for making this, thanks for making a comedy that appeals to Latinos. So that's the cool part of it.
Casa de mi Padre in color.
You speak American?
Huh?
Do you speak American?
No, señor. No habla americano.
March 16th.